If you've been watching the Sacramento region from a distance, maybe you're in the Bay, Southern California, Oregon, Texas, wherever, you've probably noticed this weird pattern. People keep moving here, and it's not just trickling in. I'm talking about families, retirees, remote workers, young professionals, all quietly slipping into Sacramento and its suburbs, like it's the worst kept secret in California. But why? Why here? And why now in 2026? That's exactly what we're going to get into today. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Lau, your friend in real estate here in Davis, California. If you're thinking about making a move anywhere in Davis, Woodland, or Sacramento, I'd love to be a realtor of choice. Okay, let's jump in. The first thing is, there's the Bay Area effect, but it has since evolved. So let's start with the obvious. Yes, Bay Area residents have been migrating to Sacramento for decades, so that's not new. What's new in 2026 is that it's no longer just a priced out of tech type of workers trying to escape the $5,000, $6,000 per month rent. This Bay Area effect has morphed into something bigger. Remote workers, they don't want to be 90 minutes from the nearest mountain. People want space again. Backyard, want to be quiet again, the room to breathe. They want walnut and avocado and apple trees. They want a garage, a place for the dogs. So all the things that would cost you $2 million in the Bay Area, it's $650,000 here in the Sacramento suburbs. The hybrid commute sweet spots. So not all the remote workers are 100% remote. Some needs to be in the office like once a week or twice a week. So places like Elk Grove, Folsom, West Sac, Woodland, these check the box perfectly as a middle ground. You're close enough for the occasional drive, but far enough to actually live a life. People finally realize Sacramento is not a cowtown California anymore. If you knew Sacramento 15 years ago, it's not the same city. Food scene, the job market, the neighborhoods, the culture, all of them has leveled up. And out-of-staters see it faster than locals do. It's like when everyone else compliments your kids and you go, wait a minute, since when did you start acting that way? Okay, second thing is the cost of living rebalance. Here's the truth. Sacramento is not cheap by any means, but it is a huge value shift compared to the cities that people are leaving. When you talk to someone who's moving here in 2025, they all say something to the version of, I can finally live like a human being again. So let's break down what that means. Housing. If we're talking about Austin, Denver, Seattle, San Jose, LA, a starter home is pushing $900,000 to $1.2 million. In Sacramento, you can still find homes in the $550,000 to $750,000 range in solid, safe suburban neighborhoods with parks and shopping and good schools. The quality of life, dollar for dollar, your money stretches in ways people forgot money could stretch. Groceries aren't a luxury, gas is not in a crisis, property taxes are not like a horror movie. The childcare is, well, it does sting, but does not end you. And electricity is no longer, please don't turn on the dryer, we can't afford it this month. I mean, it's not cheap, but for the bang of a buck, it's very sane. Here's an underrated truth. When people leave a higher cost city, it's not just money, it's also dignity. Its ability to save money again, to travel again, to upgrade again, to be able to breathe again. And Sacramento gives people that. The third thing is lifestyle, nature, and I can actually live here energy. So I always say that Sacramento is like a choose your flavor kind of region. So if you want suburban comfort, you got Elk Grove, Folsom, Natomas. You want historic, you have East Sac, Land Park, Midtown. You want a little bit more countryside. Well, there is Woodland, there's Winters. You want a college town? There's Davis. You want to live the river life? Well, of course, there's also West Sac, Pocket and part of Fair Oaks. And all of that is within a 40-minute radius. Outdoors, without the stress, people move here. Notice something very quickly. You're like an hour and a half from Napa, Tahoe, San Francisco to the coast. Maybe Yosemite is more like 3 hours, and you can also go to the Sierras. But day to day, you're like 5 minutes from a park, a walking trail, a river, a lake, or just a bike path. Sacramento has quite the access to nature, but it is not tourist energy. The food scene is no longer a kept secret. If you're new here, you'll learn this fast. Sacramento chefs do not mess around. The farm to fork is not just a slogan, it really is being embodied and baked into the culture. Folsom, very underrated food. Midtown, there is a different restaurant for every day. Davis, you have poke bowls, boba, ramen, coffee, all within a short bike ride. And of course, you have Woodland and Winters. It's very much more farm-driven restaurants that should not be as good as they actually are. Day-to-day pace here that people moving here describe the Sacramento pace as slow enough to enjoy life, but fast enough to not be bored. It hits this middle gear that's rare in a lot of major metros. Here's number 4. Climate refugees. Yeah, it's a real thing. Now, I'm not saying Sacramento is perfect. Summers are scorching hot. But in 2025, the climate migration is very real. Here's what we're seeing. People are escaping the extreme weathers. We get no hurricane, no blizzard or ice storm. There's fewer wildfires than the mountainous and coastal areas. And our heat here, even though intense, it is dry heat and predictable and manageable. And if you ask folks leaving Phoenix, San Antonio, Southern California, Sacramento heat feels like a relief. The air quality cycles, but CAL FIRE and local mitigation have improved. People moving here from Oregon and Washington, they're coming from smoke season too. Sacramento still gets hit some years, but the data over the last few cycles show a downward trend in severity and the duration compared to the time period between 2017 to 2021. Regarding water supply and infrastructure, post-drought infrastructure improvements include the reservoirs, groundwater recharge, conservation programs. These matter. People relocating care about the long-term stability, and Sacramento has positioned itself better than a lot of other Western metros. Here's number 5. The job market isn't small. If you haven't looked at the Sacramento job market in the last 5 years, it's different now. Of course, you're in the state capital, so you have government, you also have tech, healthcare, education. These are the anchors of the region. State jobs are no longer the only game in town anymore. We've got Davis is one of the largest employer in, Northern California in general. Regarding healthcare, you have Kaiser, Dignity, Sutter. In terms of tech, Intel is expanding in Folsom again. And of course, there's also like Amazon, Apple, and also like some smaller AI firms hiring locally. Last but certainly not least, AgTech and biotech, driven by research from UC Davis, is now exploding in Woodland Davis region. There's also the remote worker hub effect. They bring their big city salaries and spend locally. This stabilizes neighborhoods economically. That cycles create better restaurant scenes, stronger school funding, more businesses, cleaner parks, higher service standards. The Launchpad City phenomenon is kind of like Sacramento becoming what, let's say, Denver used to be. It's now a city where early career professional goes to grow and not just survive. Okay, number 6. Sacramento's suburbs are the real magnet here. Let's talk about the suburbs, because out-of-staters rarely land right in downtown first. They land in Elk Grove, quiet neighborhoods, good schools, there's Costco's nearby, a ton of new constructions. It's perfect for family coming from like LA, San Diego, Houston. Folsom, it's more like the polished, master-planned lifestyle with trails, lakes, top schools, and remote workers. Love it. There's Davis, college town energy, biking culture, research jobs, and let's be honest, people who loves farmers market also loves Davis. There's Woodland, affordable new constructions, historic downtown energy, and a very underrated food scene. Winters has that small town charm, wineries, farm to table restaurants, and kind of a slower pace. Retirees love winters more than they expected. West Sac, it has riverfront living, a very quick bridge right into downtown Sacramento, and new developments everywhere. Each suburb solves a different out-of-staters' pain point, and that's why people are coming. Number 7, the "it just feels normal again" factor. This is the one that nobody really talks about. The emotional reason people move here. When folks come from like LA or San Jose or Seattle, the big cities, they tell me, I just want a place where life feels normal. And normal meaning neighbors who talk to you, schools that are not like underfunded and overcrowded, streets you can drive on without just pulling your hair, a house that does not financially destroy you. It's a place where you don't have to apologize for wanting the slower pace in life. So Sacramento hits the middle ground beautifully. It's not too fast, not too slow, it's livable. And that's the word I hear most from out-of-staters. Okay, moving on to number 8. Who the region is not for. I always try to be really honest here on the channel. Sacramento is not for everyone. If you want like nightlife similar to what LA and San Francisco can offer, Sacramento will feel quiet after like 10 o'clock. If you hate the heat, summer will really test you. If you want a big city skyline, we are growing, but it is not like San Francisco, Seattle, or Chicago. If you expect perfection, we're a real city with real issues. Homelessness, there's the occasional pockets of crime, a lot of politics in the school districts, and then there's also like growing pain from the infrastructure expansion. I mean, just ask anybody from Sacramento and they'll tell you how much they hate driving on I-50. But compared to the metros people are leaving, the trade-offs are gentler here. Okay, number 9. Here is the 2026 outlook. Here's what I'm seeing as a local realtor working every day with buyers relocating from out of state. 2026 is shaping up to be like a steady migration year. It's not like crazy frenzy like 2021, 2022, not like a really slow year like 2023, more like a slow, steady flow of people who have done their research and know exactly what they want. And Sacramento is delivering exactly to them. Okay, let me wrap this up. At the end of the day, Sacramento is becoming the place where people move to when they want a life that feels balanced. Not flashy, not over the top, not crazy expensive, just solid, livable, beautiful Northern California living with culture, diversity, nature, and food, and community. If you're thinking about making that move, I'm here to help you figure out which Sacramento suburb actually fits your lifestyle, your budget, and your version of happiness. As always, my name is Danny Lau, your friend in real estate here in Davis, California. If you're thinking about making a move anywhere in Davis, Woodland, or Sacramento, I'd love to be your realtor of choice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.